Week 2 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few defense DST units I would start this week. The first one, the Cleveland Browns. So week 1, the Browns dominated the Cincinnati Bengals in week 1, only holding them to 3 points with 2 sacks in that ball game. So right here, week 2, they got a matchup at another division rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, this Steeler offense hasn't looked good in the early going so far. Now with Deontay Johnson out a couple weeks, that's going to hurt them obviously a lot. And this Brown team, when you got guys like Myles Garrett, obviously, and Denzel Ward as your rankers on defense, they could go out there and make some plays. And I think here in week 2, they could have a big ball game once again, is this Cleveland Brown team. So right now, they're still available in a bunch of fantasy leagues. They got a good matchup on paper, and they're definitely a defense I would look to start this week. The next is the New Orleans Saints. So the Saints, they won. The Saint defense went out there and played pretty good football, I believe, versus the Tennessee Titans. 15 points allowed, 3 sacks, and 3 interceptions. And right now, week 2, they got a matchup at Carolina on Monday Night Football versus the young rookie quarterback Bryce Young, who's going to make some plays, but he's also going to make his share of mistakes as well. And we know this Panther offense, they don't really have much on the offensive side of the ball. They got a couple players and veterans, Adam Thielen, Hayden Hurst, DJ Chark, who missed week 1, Miles Sanders in the backfield. But besides that, there's not much going on. The Saint pass rush obviously could go out there and make some plays, led by Cam Jordan. And in the secondary, Marshawn Lattimore. And this week with a good matchup, primetime game, Monday Night Football, I think they go out there, once again, the Saints, and have a good performance. And their defense to start this week. The next defense is the New York Giants. I know the Giants in week 1, they got destroyed 40-0 by the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm just going as a streaming option and matchup option, obviously, at the Arizona Cardinals. That's one of the worst offenses in the league. So right now, this Arizona Cardinal offense, Joshua Dobbs is the quarterback, James Conner in the backfield. Then you got Hollywood Brown, Rondé Moore is your 2 receivers, and Zach Ertz at tight end. So not much working over there in Arizona, where they struggle to put up points for the most part versus the Washington Commanders. So right now, New York Giants, they got to get back on track here after getting blown out by the Dallas Cowboys. And this defense, I know, has some young players in the secondary starting the season, but I think in this matchup, they could get things going once again. And as a streaming option start this week, I would start the Giants with a good matchup at the Cardinals. Next defense is the Denver Broncos. So the Broncos, week 1, in terms of points, they played good football, holding the Las Vegas Raiders only to 17 points. But right now, their defense really didn't do much besides that and an interception. But week 2, a good matchup versus the Washington Commanders coming to town here. And the Broncos, I know they could get to the quarterback. I know they got a few injuries, but Sam Howell, he didn't look good at all, in my opinion, in week 1 for this Commander team. And they really couldn't run the football effectively as well, so this could be a sloppy game between both teams, in my opinion, here in week 2 versus the Broncos and the Commanders. But the Broncos being the home team and holding a pretty decent offense down to 17 points in week 1. I think in week 2, Sam Howell's going to have a long day once again, and the Broncos could go out there and make plays. So their defense, I would start once again this week. In the 5th and final defense I look to start this week here is the Indianapolis Colts. So the Colts got a good matchup on paper at the Houston Texans, a very young team led by rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. And they didn't do anything in week 1 as this Texan team. I know it was versus a pretty solid Baltimore Raven defense, but right here, this Colt defense, I think, could go out there and make some plays, and we saw them put up fantasy points in week 1. I know they gave up 31 points to the Jaguars, but 2 sacks and a fumble recovery touchdown in that one. So right now, their defense could go out there, turn the ball over. Over the last few seasons, they've been top 5 in turnovers created, is this Indianapolis Colt defense. And right now, they're available in tons of fantasy leagues. So what a good matchup in an indoor game at a division opponent. The Houston Texans, a young offense with first-year head coach as well, D'Amico Ryans. I think the Colts go in there, make a few plays, and be a top 12 defense this week. So that's a few defense DST units I look to start here in week 2 of the fantasy football season.